Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys are doing extremely well. So in today's video, I'll be giving you a roadmap. Yes. Now you might ask this question, "Arey yaar, kitne roadmaps to already YouTube pe hai." Now I'm gonna tell you why this roadmap is different. So I do receive a lot of texts over Instagram, which do state something like this: I am in so and so semester. I have either done CP or I've either done Dev, or I haven't done anything. So what should I do in the next months or year so that I can secure a very good placement? Or what are the other options that I can probably look around so that I can have a really good future going ahead? So this roadmap will be semester wise from 1st to 8th, where I'll be considering all probabilities. Yes, for every semester all probabilities will be considered, whether you have done CP, whether you have not done CP, whether you have done DSA, whether you have made projects, whether you haven't made projects, whether you have companies visiting your campus, whether you do not have any companies visiting your campus. Yes, all the probabilities have been considered, and then a roadmap has been prepared for every semester. So that's what we are going to talk about today. So before starting off with the roadmap, I just like to inform you that this is going to be my last video on YouTube, probably for a month or a couple of months, because I am going in for a major surgery, and the recovery time is around some months. So I'll take some time to be back. So yeah, just enjoy this video, because after this we are going to meet after long. So let's start with first semester. So generally, when you enter the college in your first semester, either you know programming a bit or you do not know programming. It doesn't happens that you know programming a lot. That's a very rare case, so I haven't considered that. So in case you do not know programming, what you need to do is you just need to learn the basic syntax of any one language, be it C++, Java, or Python. Just learn the syntax, and just do not waste over more than a week or in learning the syntax. Now if you think of practicing everything, it doesn't happen that way. Just learn the syntax, and generally when you will start programming, you will get habituated to those syntaxes, or C++, STL, or Java collections, or Python libraries, if you are using any of those languages. So at first, learn the syntax and do not spend more than a week. So that should be your first aim of your first semester. So after that, you need to start with initial platforms like HackerEarth and HackerRank, and you have to do all the basic problems, which are like math related problems or some basic implementation problems. You can probably scroll through HackerRank and you'll find all the basic problems. So do this for a couple of months, and once you have done this, during your end semester, yes, start participating in the contest organized at Code Forces. The reason I do not suggest CodeChef is because the questions over there are a bit tough to start off with. Yeah, the first couple of questions will be a very cakewalk, but I don't want you to do cakewalk, because eventually that will not teach you anything. And there's a lot of mass cheating going over CodeChef, so it also demotivates you. So you should start off with Code Forces. There are generally a couple of contests or 3 contests at maximum over a week. Try to participate in every contest that happens per week. Yes, and after the contest, please make sure, like in your first semester, that you're solving at least the first couple of questions on a regular basis after the contest ends. So that should be your roadmap for the first semester. So since you're talking about programming, data structure, and algorithms and projects, I'd love to introduce you to a platform which is known as Coding Ninjas. So this platform was founded by Ankush, who did his bachelor's from IIT Delhi. Then he went on to do his master's from Stanford University. And this guy has worked with tech giants like Amazon and Facebook in the past. So this platform generally provides you with a variety of courses. They're providing you with courses related to data structures in C++, Java, Python. They're also providing you with interview preparation course as well as competitive programming course. Now, if you're someone who is looking for dev-related courses, you can also find machine learning courses, front-end development courses, full-stack development, Android development. So yes, any field that you choose over here, you can find courses over here in this platform. Now, why do I rate this platform so highly? I have been scrolling through their platform in the last 15 days, and trust me, the courses are really well structured and with a lot of video content. And also I did check out their stats. They have taught over 50,000 students till date, which is a really high number of students. And when I went through the reviews on Quora, Facebook, and everything else, the reviews from the ex-students were really impressive. So that is the reason I do recommend you this platform, because the courses are of really high premium quality. Now since you're talking about courses, let's check out one of their courses, that is data structures in C++. So you can see that the course has been divided into 4 levels, and for every level they have divided every topic. So on level 1, you will be learning about pointer, dynamic allocation, recursion, time and space complexity. This is the way to go. Initially, you do learn these things. Then in level 2, you'll be learning object-oriented programming, linked list, stack queues. After that, you'll be learning trees, binary search trees. Now, there is something to observe. After every level, they do have a test for that level, so that you can test out how much you have learned. So let's just check out one of their topics, that is pointers, under the level 1. So you can see it's a 27 minutes video. That means they're actually teaching you in a lot of depth. Yes. and they do have a lot of videos, as I said, on a given topic, and they do have test questions which actually does test you if you have understood the concept really well or not. Now, one of the key features that CN does provide you is the doubt resolution system. So if you're having a doubt, just go to their portal, post it, and the doubt gets resolved within an hour. Now, whenever you enroll a course, you are allocated a batch, yes, and that batch is allocated with some number of teaching assistants, and you get a direct access to message them directly. Yes, you can message them directly and ask your doubts. And since you're allocated to a batch that is for 6 months, you also get direct access to batchmates. Now, I will not be scrolling down because it will show you the names and the display profiles, which I don't want. So you can directly message your batchmates as well. So you are allocated a batch where you can directly message your teaching assistants and batchmates. So this is one of the features that did fascinate me. And along with this, they do have a course pause section. Now, generally, if you're enrolling in a batch which is for 6 months, so you might have an exam which is in between, so you can pause your course for that number of days. Generally, you can pause a course for up to a maximum of 60 days. So your course gets extended for a duration of 60 days so that you can again cover up whenever your exam is over. Now, these are the key features that you're going to get if you do enroll for a course at Coding Ninjas. So if you're someone who's looking for a course, I will highly recommend you that you go to Coding Ninjas and take up their course, because the courses are of really, really high quality. So if you're looking for some discount, you can use the link given below in the description and you'll get an additional 15% discount for every course that you enroll in for. Now let's come to the second semester when we have two probabilities. Either you'd have done CP in your first sem, that means you would have started with CP, or you would have not done anything in your first sem. So let's assume you have done CP in your first sem. So what you need to do basically is, along with contests, till now you're participating in contests. So basically your implementation skills, your C++, STL or Java collection or libraries, or your constructive algorithms are now like a bit on the better side. So once these things are on the better side, you have to start learning algorithms, because that is the key point of programming. So start learning algorithms, and with these algorithms you need to practice problems. See, you're going to participate at contest, but for every algorithm you need to solve problems, probably 5 to 8 problems when you start off with an algorithm. And where will you find these problems? So I've prepared a CP list. So you just need to go and check out that CP list, and for every algorithm you'll find practice problems. So at first, in your first year, try to solve at least 4 or 5 problems of every algorithm. Then when you move on to second year, third year, try to solve the other 5 problems on the CP list, because the first problems are generally easy, and after that they are medium and hard. So since your first year, your brain isn't matured yet, so try to solve the easier problems of the algorithm so that you at least have an idea of the algorithm. So this is what you're going to do throughout your second semester. So one key thing that I would like to mention here is, throughout your CP career, please make sure you do participate in every contest that is organized. Yes, it's a must that you participate in every contest, and do not ever think of ratings. Trust me, if you keep on participating, if you keep on solving problems, a day will come your rating will automatically increase, and that is what matters. Just faking ratings is never going to help, because when you go to that interview, no one is going to give you a pass by just by seeing your ratings. You eventually have to solve the problem, and if you haven't done that bunch of problem solving in your semesters, so you'll not be able to solve the problems in your interviews also. So please make sure you participate in every contest. That is also a must. Now, when you move to the second semester, we'll start hearing all kind of stuffs like artificial intelligence, machine learning, web dev, Android dev, all these fascinating terms. So please make sure you do not get distracted by these fascinating terms, because generally in first years people do get distracted and they stop programming and they move on to that side, and they end up wasting a lot of time. And after that, when they come up across like 6 7 semester, they realize that programming is really important, which they did not do. Because if you also want to succeed in dev in a much higher level, your programming has to be up to the mark. So that's what you're going to do in second sem if you have done CP in your first sem. Now, what if you haven't done CP in your first sem? Then what you need to do is, whatever is said on the first sem roadmap, just follow that up. And after that, you just need to spend some more time. Yes, you just need to give that extra yard so that you can cover up with the algorithms, because in the first sem the people would have done algorithms, so you would not have done. So just give some extra time so that you can catch up with the first semester guys who have started programming in the first sem. So that's what you're going to do for the first and second sem. Let's talk about the roadmap in the third semester. So let's assume you have not done CP, or you have done a very less CP till now. So what you need to do is, you need to follow the first semester and second semester roadmap. Now you might think that those semester ka, how will I do it in one sem? Now realize your age would have grown up when you are in third semester, so your brain will become much more mature. So it'll take lesser time to cover up those stuffs. And generally people don't start up like the moment they enter into college. So you can easily cover up the first semester and second semester roadmap, and please make sure you do not start anything else. Yes, do not start WebD, Android D, or anything else. Just focus on your CP skills. Now, what about if you would have done CP in your first year? Just in case if you would have done CP in your first year, what you need to do is give it a couple of more months in this semester, keep participating in contests, learn algorithm, right? Now, after a couple of months, if you feel like that you're not improving or something like that, then probably you need to take a call whether you need to leave that CP or not. So if you think that okay, मेरे से नहीं हो रहा है, so yeah, just take a call. Everyone cannot do everything. So just leave CP and focus on the requirement. Now, generally the interviews are based on data structure and algorithms and not computer programming that much. The reason we do computer programming is because that helps us to improve our problem solving skills in such a way that we can easily solve the problems on lead code or GFG or something else. So what you need to do is take a call if you're not enjoying it or if you're not improving and start practicing DSA. Now, where do you start practicing DSA? To practice DSA, just go to GFG practice section and start doing the basic easy problems as much as you can. Right, so that should be your first aim. Now, just in case if you're enjoying it, just keep on doing CP. No need to start off with a DSA. So, what about the big words like machine learning, artificial intelligence, or web dev, or Android dev? So, just go through them by what are these things and see what is appealing to you. And the stuff that appeals to you or the stuff that you find interesting, probably start digging into it, start learning the basics of those things. So just spend the third semester in learning the basics of them. Don't rush in. Okay, keep doing CP and at the side by side start learning the basics. You can manage time by doing it on alternative days. So what about if you're enjoying CP? So yeah, just keep on doing CP, keep on participating in contests, and along with that start learning stuffs that you find interesting. Yes, so that's what you're going to do for your third semester. What about fourth semester? There's a lot of probability. Now it might happen you haven't done anything yet. Yes. So what if there are companies visiting your campus for hiring interns? Until now you haven't done anything. So yeah, the first thing you need to observe is all the intern hiring rounds will be based on data structure and algorithms and not on CP. Correct. So even if you do DSA properly, I think you should be sailing it through. And probably if you have some mini projects, it might help you. So for DSA, what you need to do is go to GFG and invest the first month in learning basic data structure and algorithms. And now over here, you have to give a lot of time. So for the first month, learn basic data structure and algorithms. And right after that, for the next 2 or 3 months, complete the entire SDE sheet. And once you have completed the entire SDE sheet, you can find that over YouTube. So once you've completed that, I think you should be interview ready in terms of DSA. But what about projects? So since you have a very limited time, so just go across Udemy or somewhere else and pick up a course, and over there you'll find mini projects. So you can add some features to it, or you can probably tweak the project a bit and you can use that project in your resume. Now this is not going to work when you apply for full time, but for interns they do not focus on projects so much. They do focus on the DSS skills. So please make sure that the SD sheet is completed before you appear for intern hiring. Now what if companies are not hiring in your campus? So at the first you need to accept this fact that there are very less number of companies that do hire off campus. Yes, compared to the number of companies that hire for full-time roles. So you're not going to get a lot of chances. So you need to prep yourself for your seventh semester so that when the full-time roles do come up, you should be so much skilled and you should have good projects so that you will not be rejected then. So do not focus on internships so much because off-campus internships are going to be tough. If you're looking for the major product-based companies, it's going to be tough. Yeah, for startups, you can get them. So I'll be telling what to do on the fourth semester if you have not done anything yet. So you need to follow the first semester and second semester roadmap if you have not done anything. And after that, what you need to do is, if you do not know anything about projects or anything about that sort, probably dig in machine learning, dig in artificial intelligence, dig in WebD, dig in Android dev, and whatever there is, just dig in from top. And whichever you find interesting or whichever appeals you the most, start learning the basics of them. So that's what you're going to do in your fourth semester. So probably you understood what you need to do in your fourth semester if you have not done anything yet. Now, what if you have done CP till now and there are no companies visiting your campus? Again, you need to accept this fact, as I said in the previous part of this video, and you need to keep doing CP. And along with that, you need to start learning the basic stuffs of any of the tech stack that you find interesting. Now, what if there are companies visiting your campus? Just in case there are companies visiting your campus, keep participating in contests. Do not put an extra effort for CP because you have companies visiting your campus. Start with the SD sheet because see, the basic DSA you would have already covered by doing CP for the first, second, and third semester. You'd have covered that. So what you need to do is you need to complete the entire SD sheet. Now, since you'd have not done any project till now and there are companies visiting, probably pick up a course at Udemy and over there you'll find mini courses or a major course probably add some features from your side, or probably make a project if you can, or use that by tweaking some features here and there. And that should work if you're appearing for on-campus hiring, because they do focus on DSA skills for intern hiring. Now, what if there are companies not visiting and you'd have done CP as well as dev? So you need to keep doing CP, that is participate at contests, keep learning algorithms and the other stuff. Since you have done dev and you know there are no companies visiting your campus, so just do a mini project on the tech stack that you have learned till now. Yeah, mini project, I'm not talking about major project. Do a mini project, and now make sure that you note down all the problems that you face during creating that mini project. Because if when you appear for the interview, these are the points you're going to mention to the interview, that I did face these problems and I did come up with a solution by applying so and so logic. So these things you have to note down, because you're preparing a project now, and after a year or so you'll not be remembering what problems did you face and how did you solve them. So please make sure whenever you make a project, note down the essential points. So that's what you're going to do when companies are not visiting, right? Now, what if companies are visiting and you'd have done CP and you know dev? So what you need to do at first is complete the SD sheet, and sidewise make sure you keep on participating at contests, but do not focus on learning extra algorithms like the tougher ones like segment tree, because those will not be asked to you. So complete the SD sheet, and along with that, just do a mini project on the tech stack that you would have learned till now. The reason is because if you have your DSS skills right up there, and if you have a mini project, I think that will really help you in cracking those interviews. So that's about the fourth semester roadmap. Now let's talk about the fifth semester roadmap. What if till the fifth semester you would have not done any CP, no projects, basically saying कि पहला 2 साल मस्ती किया है, तो क्या करने वाले हो? So if the first couple of years you'd have not done anything, so what you need to do is forget about CP. No need to do CP as of now. And what you need to do is just do basic programming with one of the languages and learn basic DSA from GFG practice section. And along with that, once you have done 70, 100 basic questions from the GFG section, start doing the SD sheet. Yes. And along with this, when you do the SD sheet, please make sure you note down every algorithm that you learn whenever you solve a problem. Because whenever you are preparing for interviews, that notepad is going to help you immensely, because before an interview, you cannot solve 180 questions. But if you would have noted it down, you can actually go through it, and that's a kind of revision, because generally in interviews the questions are repeated. So please make sure you note down all the solutions or something like that in some notepad right now, since you haven't done projects yet. So start learning a tech stack. Yes, any tech stack you find interesting, start learning it. Now the question is, how do you manage time to do the SD sheet as well as learn some tech stack? So either try to do it in alternate days, or either you do it in alternate weeks. So that's the way to go. Okay, but please do not start CP in your fifth semester. That's gonna be a disaster if you have not started yet. Now, what if on your fifth semester you'd have done only CP till now, and you'd have done no projects? So it's gonna be very simple. You just need to keep participating in contests. And this is the time, this is the fifth semester is the time when you start preparing yourself for the interviews. Because trust me, it does take 6 to 12 months to prepare for the interviews. There are a bunch of questions you need to practice over lead code. It might sound to you like कि क्या ही है, I'm gonna do 5 problems daily, but it doesn't happen that way, because when you're in college, you have your classes to attend, you have your assignments. So it's better the sooner you start. So start preparing from your fifth semester, keep participating in contest, and start solving the SD sheet. And as I said previously, note down all the algorithms or the solutions of the SD sheet, so that it helps you in your future when you're appearing for interviews. Now what if you haven't done any projects? Again, same thing I'm going to repeat. Take up a tech stack, learn something about it, and probably spend some time in learning all the basics about it. And once you have learned all the basics, then probably you can start preparing a mini project. Do not go straight away to a major project. Just prepare a mini project so that you get a hold of that tech stack. So that's what you're gonna do if you'd have only done CP. Now, what if you'd have done CP and you'd have done mini project? That means you're following the roadmap from the first semester. In that case, again, same stuff. Keep participating in the contest. Start doing the SD sheet and note down all the solutions of the SD sheet in some notepad, so that in the future it can help you. Now, if you would have done a mini project in your fourth semester, in your fifth semester, it's time to start off with a major project. So at first, figure out what is your project idea. Then probably your project idea will require some tech stack which is related to the tech stack that you would have learned. So you can easily learn any different tech stack related to a similar field in very lesser number of days. So imagine if you know AngularJS and you are preparing a project idea that requires React.js. So probably you can learn React.js, and after that you can start preparing the major project. So while preparing your projects, please keep a note of some important things, like why did you choose a tech stack for that problem statement. After that, you might be facing a problem while making a project, so you're going to note it down. And what are the options did you consider in solving that problem? And after that, what decision that you took and on what basis did you take. So these are the points you need to note down, because while in the interview, when you explain to the interviewer, you're going to tell him all these things, all the problems that you faced and how did you overcome. So that's very important. So please make sure you note it down. So that's about the roadmap of fifth semester. Now let's check out the roadmap of sixth semester. Yes, now that's going to be a huge one, because on your sixth semester there are companies visiting campus. Now if there are companies visiting campus in seventh semester and you would not have done CP and no projects, so what you need to do is very simple. Leave everything in the world. Yes, leave everything in the world and start doing basic programming at GFG. Do 70-100 problems on the basic programming, and after that start doing SD sheet. Yes, start doing the SD sheet and make sure you make notes of the SD sheet so that it can be helpful while you are interviewing. Now apart from that, take up some mini course on Udemy and try to make projects or use the project done in the course with some features added or some modifications, because that's going to be an important part. That is the project. Now, what about the other aspect that is asked in the interviews? Because companies will be visiting. The other aspect will be you need to learn OOPS. Yes, understand OOPS, that is object oriented programming, and do all the core subjects like operating system, your DBMS, or your computer networks. So please make sure you cover all these portions. Now, what if you would have done CP till now only? So, if you have done CP till now, what you need to do is keep participating in contest and start doing the SD sheet. Yes. So, since you have done only CP till now, so it's assured that you would not have prepared any projects. So, take up a mini course on Udemy and probably refer to the projects that they would have done, add features to it, or do some modifications and use that project in your resume. Now, again, reading object oriented programming, computer networks, DBMS, operating system is a must for any of the company placements. Again, the other criteria comes in. What if you would have done CP and mini projects? So if you would have done CP and mini projects, do the SD sheet. If you would have done the SD sheet previously, again do the SD sheets, solve more problems on the lead code, and do company interview experiences as much as you can. And again, try to build one more project if you have a mini project, and that project can be your major project in your resume. And with that, do the core subjects as I said, and the object-oriented programming. So that's going to be a roadmap if companies are visiting your campus. Now, since it's the sixth semester, and you know that the companies are not going to visit your campus in the seventh semester, so generally the off-campus hiring starts off late seventh semester and starting of the eighth semester. So that is when the off-campus hiring does generally start. So if you would have not done CP yet, do not even think of starting CP. Just learn basic programming from GFG, then do 70-100 basic questions on DSA, complete the SD sheet, make notes. Again, similar thing I'm repeating. Take up a mini course on Udemy, learn some dev, use those projects, add features, or probably do some modification. That's what you're going to do, and start doing core subjects as well as object oriented programming. That's what you're going to do. Basically, it's going to repeat from now. Only CP till now. Keep doing CF contests, because that really helps you in keeping up with your speed of problem solving. And yes, complete the SD sheet. Again, if you have not done any projects, take up any mini course on Udemy. Again, the same stuff. Add features or make some modifications. That's going to help you out. Please make sure you do core subjects and object-oriented programming. Now, what if you'd have done CP as well as projects? So in that case, keep giving CF contest, complete the SD sheet, make notes of the SD sheet. If project has been done, no need to do any more. Start reading about interview questions related to tech, like what happens when you hit google.com, and similar kind of interview questions that are generally asked. Now, if only mini project done, please make sure that you build a major project during your seventh semester. So that's what you're going to do. Now, along with this, make sure you start preparing your core subjects as well as your object-oriented programming. So that's what is going to be a roadmap for sixth semester. So now let's talk about the seventh semester. So imagine you would have not done CP, but you did dev. So what's your first point? First point should be, do not even look around CP. Yes, leave everything. Just start basic programming. Solve 70-100 problems on the basic platform of GFG. After that, start doing the SD sheet, and the more you do the SD sheet, the more you'll get comfortable with the interview questions, right? Projects would have been done since you would have done dev till now. So it's time to read about specific interview questions. Yes, like what happens when google.com has said, or any other interview questions related to these kind of stuffs, right? So read about them, because a lot of interviewers do tend to ask these easy questions. So please do read. Apart from that, start preparing OS, DBMS, computer network, and object oriented programming. And along with this, start giving some time to low level designing. Yes, design a parking lot, design a book my show, design a WhatsApp. Questions like this, where you just need to apply object oriented programming concepts, and you can have your class diagrams and everything. So just prepare LLD. And if you want to prepare system design, it's fine. But generally, all the companies do not ask freshers about system design, apart from Coordination, Media.net, and a couple of other companies. They do not ask about system design. That's what you're going to do if you have not done CP till now. Now, coming to the 7 semester roadmap, where you'd have done CP and you'd have also done projects. So basically, you're prepared, right? So just keep doing the SD sheet, prepare problems from lead code, and yes, start learning LLD. A lot of people do not focus on this low level design. Start learning LLD, start designing small systems like book my show ho gaya, WhatsApp ho gaya, class diagrams banao. Those are very important, because when you appear for interviews of startups, basically they do ask LLD a lot of times. System design is not so much asked, so you can probably skip that part unless until you are really wanting to go into Coordination or Media.net or some other companies like the top notch companies. तभी करो system design, वरना chill कर सकते हो system design, ठीक है? Now comes the point where you have not done anything. No CP, no projects. So I will suggest you is just read in such a way that you get a service-based job. It's not that tough. Aptitude and all, if you read, you will get a job at TCS or something like that. They have their exams as NQT, or you'll get a job at Capgemini or CTS or something like that. Try to get a job over there, or Infosys. After that, you're secure, right? Once you have got that service-based job, you're secure because you haven't done anything till now. So once this job is taken, ask yourself, will you be able to prepare in 6-7 months? If the answer is yes, then probably start preparing. If the answer is no, because you know what's your potential, right? No one can actually rate your potential except you. So you know your potential. So if the answer comes no, so see, you would have read your subjects at least. So in your 7 semesters, start preparing for GATE and try to crack GATE. See, if you get into IITs and NITs, you don't have to be a master in CP, or you do not have to have such great DSA skills. Once you crack GATE, you go to those IITs, NITs, or triple IITs. Over there will be companies coming, and you'll easily get an internship in your first year. And then in your second year, you might get a PPO, or you might get a placement easily. That path is a lot easier. Or else, if you look for prepare for placements in 6 months, do the core subjects, do the SD sheet along with basic programming, and along with that, do LLD, do a mini project as I said in the previous semester roadmaps. After this, it's your luck. If you get a job, it's fine. If you do not get a job and you did not appear for GATE, join that service-based company, or do not join that service-based company. That's your call. Prepare for GATE. I will highly suggest prepare for GATE, because I think that's the best way. If you're in a service-based company, prepare for GATE, go to IITs, crack a job if there is no financial problem in your family. If there is, then work for service-based, try for startups, and probably if you get a startup after that, try to go to product-based companies, because generally there are people who have got from service-based to product-based, but the number of people who have gone is very less. You need to understand this, and these are facts you need to accept. You cannot just be telling ki अरे कोई तो गया तो मैं भी क्यों नहीं. You need to accept this fact, and you need to be safer. You need to be on the safer side. That's what you need to do on the 7th semester. Abhi, what about the 8th semester? Very simple. Not done anything yet. Follow the 6th and 7th semester roadmaps. I've already told you. I've did everything. If I've did everything, keep revising everything, keep giving interviews, and yes, read as much as interview experiences as you can. If you've got a placement and you're satisfied, I'll highly suggest you to take some rest, because once you get into the industry, you're not going to get any rest. So probably chill out, party karo, chill karo, Netflix देखो, Amazon Prime देखो, YouTube देखो, जो करना है करो, but chill करो. अगर एक satisfied placement मिला है, भागो मत तो, chill कर लो, क्योंकि 8 semesters बहुत पढ़ाई की है. So yeah, that will be it for the roadmap video. I guess you like this video. So just in case you did, please make sure you like this video. And if you're new to our channel, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button. So do not forget to check Coding Ninjas. And if you want an additional 15% discount, do use the link given in the description below. And yeah, there's a very small request. Please do share this roadmap with your friends, juniors, and yeah, all the programming groups that you're part of. With this, I'll be wrapping up this video. Let's meet in some other video where I will be solving a problem from the SD sheet, or probably a video of this kind. So yeah, till then, bye-bye. Take care.